On the 6th of March 2014, MTV announced the nominations for the 2014 MTV Movie Awards, and nominated in the category of Best Hero were Superman, Iron Man, Bilbo Baggins, Thor, and John Cale. And noticeably absent from this category, especially given its very, very loose use of the term hero, was the woman of the decade, Katniss Everdeen. Amplified by the lack of any female characters making the hero cut at all, Hunger Games fans began to use the hashtag Katniss is our hero to advocate for her inclusion in the category, and created an online petition that gained almost 20,000 signatures. And although Katniss was not added to the Best Hero category, on the 1st of April 2014, MTV announced that their annual social category, an award voted solely by social media, was going to be Best Character. The nominees for the award were announced by the YouTube sensations of the time, O2L, who I just learned weren't actually a band. And nominated in the Best Character category was Loki, Thor Dark World, Veronica Mars, Tris Pryor, Divergent, Khan Noonien Singh, I know I just butchered that, Star Trek Into Darkness, and the final nomination, perhaps making up for the hero category debacle, was Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games Catching Fire. In order to vote for their favourite character, fans had to post to either Twitter, Instagram or Vine with the hashtag vote and then their chosen character's name, like hashtag vote Loki, and the voting would close on the 13th of April, the day of the awards show. Alongside the announcement, MTV shared a page where fans could watch live as the votes came in to see who was in the lead and who was losing. And little did MTV know that the 2014 Best Character category would initiate one of the biggest fandom wars in the history of the internet. Hashtag vote Katniss versus hashtag vote Tris.
Would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem?
The Mockingjay lives.
On Twitter, Hunger Games fans immediately began to share the hashtag, often with those Tumblr-style memes that I unfortunately remember finding funny at the time, and they also posted them alongside some more serious edits. She sacrificed herself, so maybe you could sacrifice a few minutes of your life to vote for her. Hashtag vote Katniss. This was the same over on Instagram, where tributes, fans of the Hunger Games, were sharing any picture, no matter how mildly related to the Hunger Games, and tagging it vote Katniss for the contest. And as more and more people shared the tag, Team Katniss quickly gained tens of thousands of votes in just a few hours. But so had hashtag vote Tris, which was surprisingly also receiving a lot of support. I hashtag vote Tris to win favourite character at the 2014 Movie Awards. I hashtag vote Tris because Tris changed my life. I used to be this quiet little person and now I'm just like, crazy, lol. She's kinda channeling her. Hashtag vote Tris because she knows how to protect her family, unlike Katniss, who famously just sat on her ass doing nothing while her family needed her help. As you can probably tell, I was, and remain to be, very much on Team Katniss. Anyways, Team Tris was also sharing their equally as cringy fandom memes on the hashtag, which once again I probably have saved on my old iPod Touch somewhere. It's just how fandom things were back then. Everyone knew at least one person who was considering getting this symbol tattooed somewhere on their body. I still have mine. Now, the large amount of support for Team Tris and Divergent may seem odd to us now, given that, as of 2023, interest in the Divergent franchise has sort of fizzled out. But in 2014, Divergent was the new kid on the block, and this kid had a shiny new tattoo. I don't know, I struggle with metaphors. So, for a little context, the Hunger Games book trilogy was published between 2008 and 2010, and it gained a huge amount of commercial success and kind of launched a new dystopian teen anti-violent government splitting populations into little groups type of book genre that became very popular. The Maze Runner was also published in 2009, which was also popular and helped to establish this audience further, but The Hunger Games was definitely the defining series of this YA era. Then in 2011, Divergent by Veronica Roth was published, which shared some similarities with The Hunger Games. And although it was described as not being on The Hunger Games level, with it being being much flimsier and less nuanced in comparison to its starving predecessor, the Divergent series attracted a very similar audience. Essentially, in the early 2010s, if you craved more Hunger Games, you read Divergent. It was the natural fandom progression, and one that I unfortunately fell victim to at the time. And when the voting opened on the 1st of April 2014, the Divergent movie had only been out in cinemas for just over a week. So, in regard to the movie space, Tris was the new girl in town, and recency bias was definitely working in Divergent's favour. Right off the bat when the voting began, the competition between the two headstrong heroines was extremely close, with the pair frequently having a similar number of votes, and at one point there was only a single vote between them. And as the first official day of voting was coming to an end, both Katniss and Tris had gained well over 110,000 votes, leaving the remaining three characters in the dust. And so the war between #VoteTris and #VoteKatniss was very much underway, although there was some, perhaps at this point delusional, Loki stans that attempted to remain positive. #VoteLoki, there's still hope, #Loki's army. As the voting continued, fans on both sides became increasingly unhinged, with some fans skipping classes to hide in the toilets just to vote in the contest. Don't the initiates, Divergent fans, go to school? I should go back to the class from the toilet. Been here so long, but I don't want Katniss to lose. #VoteKatniss. #VoteTris. Forget school, I'll be in the bathroom all day so I can tweet. You're the best. Forget the end of course exams, Tris needs to win. This sort of behaviour was definitely spurred on by the fact that fans could see the voting in real time, as fans could see exactly how many votes behind they were, leading to a surge of votes from one side to overtake the other, which then caused the other side to do the same and take back the lead. What the are you guys doing? Come on, vote, we're behind by 2,000, #VoteTris. We are leading, heck yes, #VoteTris. This has to stop, OMG, MTV, what the are you doing? #VoteKatniss. Holy I woke up to Katniss winning by 4,000, #VoteKatniss. A Twitter account was also created which automatically tweeted every single minute of every day and updated on who was winning the vote and by exactly how many points, so people didn't even have to check MTV's sites to know that they were losing. And as this vicious cycle of winning to losing to winning again went on, hostility between the fandoms increased and things got personal. Fuck you, Tris. Tris faced crows attacking her, men without faces, for while he was under Jeanine's control and was still brave. Fuck you, Katniss. #VoteTris. #VoteTris. Katniss is a bitch. #VoteKatniss. She had better hair. Now that one is true. And with the competition growing more and more toxic and entertaining as each day went on, the Vote Tris v Vote Katniss drama was soon about to escalate to a new level of online warfare. As the voting went on, the official social media accounts for both the Hunger Games and Divergent posted their respective hashtags and encouraged fans to vote for Katniss or Tris for the MTV award, with the Divergent page even posting one of those multiple grid collage pictures on Instagram that everyone used to do but now look like because who's consistently posting 3 pics at a time to keep it in formation? Anyways, alongside these posts, on the 9th of April 2014, the official Divergent account announced across their social media pages that they would be hosting a sweepstake where fans could win Divergent-related items if they posted on social media with the hashtag WinDivergent and #VoteTris. The items up for grabs were signed movie posters, an autographed Divergent book, as well as a trip to visit the set of Resurgence. The same day, the official Divergent account also posted on their Tumblr announcing another giveaway where fans could win copies of the Divergent trilogy that were signed by the author if they went over to Twitter and tweeted the hashtags HTGiveaway and, you guessed it, #VoteTris. And as you can imagine, with the announcement of these Divergent giveaways that would also count as votes for the MTV award, tensions were high. Well, even higher than they originally were. Whoa, so that's why, so unfair. My sister said people are giving away really good Divergent prizes for lucky Tris voters. Cheating, to be honest, but let's not give up. #VoteKatniss. We're not the ones who do giveaways in exchange for votes, so #VoteKatniss. And as the battle soon turned to accusations of cheating, one Team Katniss fan pointed out what appeared to be some sort of bot or automated voting system, as there were several blank Twitter profiles that were tweeting the exact same tweets with the #VoteTris, alongside for some reason, Votes for Lord and Timber by Kesha for a different award show. However, I did also come across one Team Katniss person who tweeted #VoteKatniss 613 times for the contest and then continued to tweet #VoteKatniss twice a day up until the 3rd of April 2023, which I'm choosing to believe was also some sort of bot that this person was using, because the alternative being that someone has tweeted #VoteKatniss every day for 9 years after the competition had ended is far too sinister for me to even acknowledge. So it seems that members of both sides were utilising some kind of automated voting system, which was of course against the rules, but then so was voting if you weren't a legal resident in the US, and yet my 13-year-old self was staying up way too late tweeting #VoteKatniss, so I think we can agree everyone was in the wrong. In the final days of the voting, Tris and Katniss consistently jumped in and out of first place, frequently overtaking each other much to the horror of both fandoms.
Katniss and Tris, who are surprisingly locked in a dead heat. Is it time for that new MTV movie queen already?
But despite the hunger for victory on both sides, there of course could only be one victor. Did you catch that pun? And on the 13th of April 2014, the 2014 MTV Movie Awards were held. Jennifer Lawrence did not attend the show, although some of her co-stars did, which I only mention because I need to show you this.
Josh Hutcherson, if we lived in a dark future and a controlling government made us fight for our lives and we had to eat poisoned berries and stuff, I'd be like totally down to do that.
I've been saying if we lived in a dark future and a controlling government around the house for days now. However, unlike RJ Law, Shailene Woodley, the actress that played Tris, was in attendance, and side note, this was the night that birthed this iconic moment.
Are you hungry right now?
Not at all.
Really? I'm so hungry.
Well, you should probably eat.
Anyways, the time had finally come, the moment the fandoms had been waiting for. Millions of votes had been cast, thousands of arguments had been had, and at least tens of teenagers across the globe had learned how to program just to create automated voting systems. And it all came down to this. In probably the most unceremonious of award giving ever witnessed, it was announced that the winner of the favourite character category was
Tris Pryor from Divergent. Shailene Woodley, congratulations. Here is your golden popcorn.
Thanks, dude.
with 9.5 million votes, whereas Katniss had 9.4. And of course, Team #VoteTris celebrated. We did it after all this hard work, we have done it. For those wondering how we won, like Tris, we worked our way up and never gave up. It's a shame Lionsgate gave up on your films though. I love how I'm still, to this day, genuinely mad about it. Tris's win was later described in a news article as one of the night's upsets, with the character having come from behind in the last minute to beat Katniss in the voting. But describing Tris's win as an upset was an understatement when Hunger Games fans decided to be the first people ever to actually read the terms and conditions. After Katniss's loss, some Hunger Games fans alleged that the vote was rigged, as in the official voting rules for the contest, it said that the vote would close at or around 8:30 PM ET, but the actual voting ended, from what I can see, at around 10:30 PM ET. But I may be wrong there because American time is confusing, and to me, ET is a squat little alien with abandonment issues. Anyways, in the announcement of the nominees posted on MTV's website back on the 1st of April, it did however say that the voting for favourite character would remain open throughout the show, which was set to start at 9 PM ET, which I hopefully don't have to explain is after 8:30. And it was because of this confusion in the cut-off time for the voting that the Hunger Games fans were accusing the award of being rigged. And you may be wondering, did that extra 2 hours of voting really change anything? Did it really matter? To which the answer is yes, it did. Because, allegedly, at 8:30 on the 13th of April 2014, #VoteKatniss was winning the vote by 29,000 votes. And it wasn't until 8:37 that #VoteTris took the lead, which she held onto until the competition ended at 10:30 PM. As you can imagine, this caused a lot of conflict between the two fandoms, with posts being shared around on Tumblr and Twitter accusing MTV of cheating and going against their own rules, with one fan penning a letter to MTV themselves. I'm upset that I spent a week on Twitter voting for Katniss when you clearly rigged the votes and the ending time to make Tris win. I'm not a liar and you can check your own official rules, which I read clearly. Now, technically the rules did say at or around 8:30, and for all we know voting maybe did close at 8:30, but I presume it takes a while for the systems to tally all the votes from Twitter, Instagram and Vine, and so that could be why the voting seemed to end at 10:30. Basically, it's impossible for us to know exactly what the results actually were at 8:30, although from the site itself, it was looking convincing that the Hunger Games fans were right, that at 8:30 Katniss was winning, potentially making the Hunger Games fans ease on their voting. Following the award being announced, MTV posted an article titled "Katniss or Tris? The people have spoken at the MTV Movie Awards in a hotly contested YA battle. Only one could be the victor." And I think hotly contested is an understatement, given that fans were chronically skipping classes to go to the toilet to vote for their favourite character and scrap with rival fans online. And due to this hostility between the Divergent and Hunger Games fandoms, some members created the hashtag Stop the Hunger Games and Divergent War, asking fans to repost this pic to show that they loved and respected each other's fandoms. Let's just be one big fandom family. Another hashtag was also created in an attempt to make peace. Tributes love initiates, initiates love tributes. And like most things on the internet, people eventually moved on from the MTV voting war, and peace was restored in the fandoms. That was until next year, when neither Katniss nor Tris won, but don't even get me started on that. Recently, following the renaissance of the Hunger Games fandom, with it resurging in popularity on TikTok due to the upcoming Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie, the debate of which 2010s teen dystopian was supreme also reared its ugly head, which naturally gave some users flashbacks to the infamous #VoteKatniss v #VoteTris contest. Having flashbacks of the MTV Favourite Heroine Award, where you had to use #VoteKatniss and #VoteTris, and everyone was just having a go at each other. Like, this was the biggest fandom beef I experienced in the Hunger Games fandom back then. Hunger Games vs Divergent was a really big deal to me back in middle school. Like, friendships were lost, enemies were made, it was war. Literally, like #VoteKatniss versus #VoteTris for the MTV Movie Awards was so brutal. And when asked to name a famous historic battle, one user shared the only correct answer of the Vote Tris v Vote Katniss war. This tweet gained 35,000 likes, with survivors of the war reminiscing in the craziness that was that 2 weeks of voting. Some people are saying it wasn't a battle, but if you weren't there, you wouldn't get it. Like, it was serious. And having to see the votes between these two fluctuate in real time was so stressful. They for real had us doing so much just for an MTV Movie Award. And nearly a decade after the event, fans still allege that the vote was rigged, with some users still annoyed at Katniss losing the vote and demanding a 2023 rematch. Which is comforting for me to know that to this day there are still members of team #VoteKatniss that are still as bitter as I am about losing the great fandom battle of 2014. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one in the future.